A roll?
One Zoom call, all lead to this.
I've always liked a bit of both, to be honest. I like them both. Do you know? I like Star Wars and I like Star Wars.
Oh dear.
Oh my dear Lord. So no, but whatever you fancy, really. Whether you fancy. I mean, look, whether you like Picard or whether you like what's his name? What's his name? What is his name?
Stop it!
Days.
Stop it.
He was fluffy too.
Funny.
Anyway, right, move on. What's your next one in?
I was going to say.
10 years from that.
It's the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
Right, that's our top 5 TV shows. A really varied mix on there. For fuck's sake.
I'm so sorry. I had a twitch. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's so hot.
So welcome to episode number 5. We only booked a weekend away. We get back into...
You missed that, Damian.
Don't start, please. So I'm going to read you the headline. Mum wakes up daughter, 21, every day by licking her all over and pretending she's a dog. I used to look at the male underwear section, but that's a completely different story. Birograph.
Now, I used to be massive into buses, so I used to make little buses.
Oh, look, it's a number 57. Oh, it's 2 minutes early. Oh, look, it's engine number 4259.
Right, number 5 is my Superman outfit. I had a turtle costume. I had Raphael, the red one. The red thing. Sorry.
Do you know what? This hasn't gone down great this week. You're all a bunch of...
It's the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
Haven't you got any stains on your tracksuit bottoms?
No, because it's called a washing machine, you dirty animal. I'm going to play you clip number 1.
But please stop it. It's quite nice.
What, this
What's the matter with you?
Oh, yeah.
Have you got a moose or something next to you?
Just question if the Terminator has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Let's ride on a white thing that's covered in warts.
Don't. Just don't.
You're right, did you just drop one? You just kind of look really relieved.
Tom Hanks, not Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
sorry. Oh. Drum roll, please.
Moonwalker, Michael Jackson.
No.
He could have had anything. Barbara, why are you living in my house? Get out.
So
Stop licking this.
This is the As Yet Unnamed podcast with Ian Barstow, Damian Lee, and Darren Antrobus.
Right, can you all do a 3, 2, 1 clap so I can get a decent time marrying it up?
Yeah, we're gonna...
Oh, hello, Darren, I can't hear you now. Darren?
You told me to clap.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you clap. There you go, in front of the microphone, not behind it. Right, 3, 2, 1.
Let's clap.
Yeah, see, I can hear you then. Okay, don't worry, forget it. I've done my clap, it's fine. Right, are we ready, everybody?
Yep.
Cool. Starting.
3 men close to a midlife crisis. 3 microphones, one Zoom call, all lead to this. It's the As Yet Unnamed Podcast.
Shake hard for 10 seconds.
Good evening. That's one of my favourite clips that I have got of Darren. I like it a lot. Hello and welcome to the As Yet Unnamed Podcast, live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitch, Facebook and YouTube. Hope you're doing well. My name is Ian Barstow. I'm joined by Damian Lee and Darren Antrobus. We will introduce those in a second. I just want to let you know what you're watching if you are indeed watching us. So basically, every Wednesday night from 8 o'clock, we record our podcast and we broadcast it live. So you see everything and anything that we do, all the bad stuff, all the stuff that doesn't quite work, and then I edit it down and it makes it sound really, really professional. So we'll start that shortly. Hello, Damian.
Hello. Good evening.
Don't forget, don't use all your content because we aren't actually recording the podcast bit yet. So this is just
don't
Facebook
worry, I'm
Live
freezing.
stuff. Are you?
Won't lie. Yeah, nippy.
Are you Nesh?
I think it's probably because I'm just wearing my pants.
At least you are wearing pants. Things I've heard about you. Darren, hello.
Hello. I'm with you there, Damian. The heating's been on today. The heating has
Really?
been on. Yes.
You turned your knob then?
The heating has been on.
Right, because I haven't touched the heating knob for a while, to be honest.
Okay.
I always worry about touching knobs.
Innuendo
Heating
number
knobs.
one.
Yep. Mark that down to clip that bit. So, if you are watching on Facebook, hello, thank you very much. I hope you're going to enjoy the show. Do get involved, get on the chat. And if you're watching on YouTube and all of that as well, thank you for that as well. So, just to let you know, if you want to find out more about us, then all you need to do is go to our brand new website, theasyetunnamedpodcast.uk. You can listen to all of the previous episodes of the podcast and watch all the previous episodes of the podcast and find out information about us. Darren just reminded me I need a biography from you, please.
Oh yeah, just put on the radio guy. That'll do.
No.
I bet you'll find it really difficult to write about yourself, won't you, Darren?
Yes.
Yes,
slide,
he
that.
will.
Good slide.
Haven't we got a stonker of a show coming up, though? Looking forward to this one this week.
We have
It's
got a really
show.
good show. So we're going to be doing our news and stuff that we normally do, how our week's been and all that sort of stuff. Then we're going to be doing Darren versus Damian. It is currently, I believe it's 2-0 to Darren.
Whoa!
It is because.
No, it's not. It's 1-1. There we go.
No,
You see? That's
No.
what you get for being
It is.
cocky.
It is 1-1. That was it. I
You were
remember.
right. in the
Absolutely
first
cocky.
No, I was right.
Terrible.
Let's not go down that route. And then our top 5 this week is going to involve lots of this and this and also a little bit of this. Yes, it is our top 5 horror films. Should have been done over Halloween, but anyway, let's not get started on that one. It's Barbara's
Blame
fault.
Barbara,
I know
producer.
it is Barbara,
She's
producer.
your gaffer as well.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. We have to talk about her.
we can bring it back though, can't we?
We can indeed.
We can do it again.
Hello to Anthony, who's listening at the moment and watching us on Facebook. Thank you. You joined us last week. Thank you for coming back for more. Right, should we get on with it? Should we start our podcast recording?
Let's go live.
Well, we are live already.
Idiot.
So moody.
We're going.
Not having that this
We're
week.
going recording now.
Oh, I just want to flick your head.
So innuendo number 2. Right. Let's get on with it then. So we are going to be doing our podcast recording now. Hello to Colin, who is also listening and watching as well. He's obviously watching on Facebook and not on YouTube, as I asked him to. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Here goes. It's all good. Right. Should we get on with it? Right. Let's do... What am I doing? Where am I? There. Right. Recording.
This is the As Yet Unnamed Podcast with Ian Barstow, Damian Lee, and Darren Antrobus.
Hello Hello, welcome along to the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Every Monday morning we are on your podcast feed and we are very happy to be so as well. I am Ian Barstow, the captain, or so I've been called, of this show. Basically, I am in charge of the knobs and the buttons. We are joined by Damian Lee. Hello, Damian.
To be honest, there is a lot of knobs. Different colours of knobs on there, and some of them are quite lengthy, aren't they? I think in terms of the desk that you control, they're lengthy knobs.
They are.
Hi, I'm Damian Lee. Good to hear you, or even good to be with you. Hi.
Hello. And Darren, hello.
Can we just make a note there? Innuendo number 3.
We don't do innuendo on this show. I don't know what you're on about. It's a really innocent show.
Ian, stop. Thank you. Sorry, no, Damien, stop.
Oh, did you just mistake us two? Oh, man alive.
Yeah. Evening. All right.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, yeah. You all right?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Great start. Brilliant. You're the professional. So, coming up on the show today, we are going to be having Darren versus Damian. It is currently 1-1. The mystery voice is still going. Darren thought he had it, then told me just before we were starting recording that it was a female. And I clearly said last week, it is not a female. It is not Whoopi Goldberg, so don't use that one again. I know.
Unbelievable.
And then our top 5 list this week is going to involve this. I'll get rid of the music because it won't work there. This. And a little bit of... It is top 5 horror films. Dun, dun, dun. I've even got... Are you ready?
It's very good. I like it.
This is great.
Those screams are homemade, are they not, Ian?
Yes, they are. Recorded.
They are, actually.
Recorded last night. Yeah. If you want to get in contact with the podcast, you can do. Get over to our brand new website, theasyetUnnamedpodcast.uk, theasyetUnnamedpodcast.uk. You can follow us on Twitter at AsYetUnnamedPod. You can find us on Facebook, the As Yet Unnamed Podcast, all the usual stuff. But do head over to the website. It's brand new. It's nice and shiny and looks really good. All done by me. Because, I am the captain and I do everything on this.
Do you know what?
show.
I bet sometimes he gets up in the morning and he goes past the mirror and he just goes, "Oh yeah."
I reckon he puts his bird's eye, Captain Bird's Eye outfit on.
He never used to be like this. He's gone. He loves himself lately.
I walk
Loves
past
himself.
I walk past a mirror and go, "Ugh, look at that. What a state. 42-year-old.
I bet you wink at yourself. I said wink at yourself as you go past that mirror, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I think of this
Shake hard for 10 seconds.
all the time.
Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't, indeed? I don't think of this.
Do we have a backstory for that, Ian? If anyone's not listened before.
No.
Awful.
Go listen to last
listen
week's
to-
episode to
yeah.
find out what that was
Episode
all about.
Episode number 8.
Yes, episode
Wow.
number 8 of this. We're on number 9 already. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
On number 9 already. It's going well, going quick. So thank you very much if you are listening on the podcast. What's your week been today? Who am I going to go? I'm going to go to Damian first. I want to find out what yours.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, obviously this will go out next Monday, but currently in the week we're recording this, a lot of the schools are going back. So you've got a lot of parents at the moment that are thinking, do you know what? Yes, here we go. See you later, kids.
Freedom.
It's been great. It's only been half a year. 6 months of them at home, going to bed at 10 o'clock at night. Then when you go upstairs, they moan that it's 10:30. So anyway, I have got a story for you and it's quite interesting. So let me just get on to me little pad.
Can I just ask,
it.
is one of your children starting new school tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow. Yeah. So my little one went back today and then tomorrow the bigger one starts a brand new middle school. So I probably will cry in the morning when the new uniform.
Sad man.
So,
you sad
yes,
man.
I know. So here's one for you. And especially this is one for you, Ian, who apparently, there's a lot of screams. People who eat peanut butter, you ready for this, are better in bed.
This is true because I don't eat peanut butter, and I've been told that I'm not so good.
Brilliant. That's staying in. Now,
And Damian must have boxes of peanut butter from the
well,
stories
I'll
he's
tell you
told
what,
me.
now, most of us have the phrase that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's drilled into us since we were young. Now, apparently, whether you opt for a super green smoothie or a bowl of cereal or a piece of toast, it can give you a very big insight into your personality what you eat for your breakfast. So, according to new research
It can't
by
be.
Weetabix,
Oh,
really?
there's a surprise by a cereal company.
Good
Let
old
me-
Weetabix.
Let me
Let's
guess,
do
eat
this.
Weetabix and you're the best person in the world.
Now, peanut butter is meant to be good for the most passionate lovers. So if you're listening to this and you are a little bit of a Randy Fox, do you like yours crunchy or smooth?
If you're going to use it for that, smooth, definitely.
Now, if you reach for the Marmite instead, you're more likely to be a well-read person. How do they get this?
That's just...
No,
It's
if I-
rubbish. It's utter.
Okay.
It's utter. Is what it is. Oh, that didn't work. It's utter. That's what it is.
Yeah, that just looked like we had a satellite
Yeah.
delay there. It was like,
I'll edit that bit. It's fine. Don't worry.
brilliant. Now, apparently, if you have a cup of tea or lots of cup of teas, you're more likely to earn a lot of money.
Do you drink coffee?
Now, this is pathetic, this is. You ready for this? Weetabix, get ready for the number here, okay? Because this is the survey. And remember the title of this. It says, people who eat peanut butter for breakfast are better in bed. So, you know, there's loads of people thinking, woohoo! So they probably left this and gone to get a bit of peanut butter. Here we go. Get ready for this. Weetabix asked 2,000 British adults. 2,000. How many people we got in this country? 60 million.
To be fair, the radio listening figures are done off a panel of about 250, and the television viewing figures are done off a panel of about 3,000. So
It is actually, that's very correct, yeah. British adults to describe their biggest personality traits and compared them to what they had for breakfast most days. The highest number of people who identified, sorry, I've just clicked onto a car ad, didn't want that really, I was on the script. Don't want to know about Audis, to be honest. Now, the highest number of people who identified as bohemian are partial to a pain au chocolat in the morning, whereas those who drink just a cup of tea are likely to be high earners who are taking an annual salary of over £100,000.
what
I don't even know what a proper
utter rubbish.
Here's
that
one
is.
for you. If you're a lover of French toast, the chances are you're a party animal. Whereas those who would rather just eat a banana are most likely to be described as stressed out. There is a bottom bit here.
I once knew someone who could do some very weird things with a banana. Anyway,
If you like a nice peach in the morning, you're most likely to be called Ian Barstow. Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. So there you go. I just thought that was quite interesting to know that apparently, if you like a bit of peanut butter, you're very good in the sack.
utter
There you go.
rubbish. I'm sorry.
Do you know what? I think maybe
There's a
should
bit of
all
truth
go-
in that. There's a bit of truth in that.
Well, maybe we should all go camping, and we should all have some peanut butter before we go. What's the matter? Find out a good idea?
Absolutely
What
not.
are you having
I'm
the
not-
peanut butter on?
Darren's feet.
What?
Oh,
Read it out
no.
there.
I don't like people playing with my feet. Don't.
Oh, I can imagine your feet are a bit. Are your feet a bit warty?
No, they're a bit naily.
Oh, don't just
Oh,
stop.
Darren, oh, They
Honestly.
got yellow bits in.
Oh.
No.
No.
Just-
Are you
no.
are you a short nail guy or a long nail guy?
Depends when they start to hurt or not. So
Oh,
Do you
no.
pick them or cut them?
I'm joking with you, by the way. My feet are beautifully manicured by my other half.
Okay. And do you cut them? Do you pick them? Do you bite them?
How do you bite them?
I couldn't get down.
Seriously.
I couldn't
Yeah,
get down there to do that.
We're all too old to be biting our toenails. Honestly, if you can still get your foot up there, I'm very impressed.
Have you ever?
What? No.
Darren,
I was just
how's
about to,
your
I was
week
just about
been?
to, I was just about to do something extremely rude then, and then I just remembered we're
Oh,
actually
dear.
live, so I won't. Yes, Darren, go on.
How's your week
Basically,
been?
You've been on holiday. You've been on holiday this week, haven't you? Again.
I have been on holiday. It's been absolutely fantastic. We went down to a place called Cornwall. You may have heard of it. right down in the southwest. It was absolutely lovely. There was a thing on my bucket list that I always wanted to do was go to Land's End, and it was a little bit. It was great. It was perfect. It was everything I wanted it to be. Very commercialized though, so it's not like I expected it just to be the lamppost, the signpost, just that at the end of like a cliff.
You do
And
know
that's
it's one
it.
of the biggest tourist places in the UK. They're not actually just going to have a little stick in the ground going, here's Land's End.
Well, that's what I expected it to be, and that'd be really kind of like natural and authentic. But it's not. There's a whole a tourist attraction built around it, so you can have your food there. You can go into a shop there. Some other attractions are down there, like the Wallace and Gromit museum is there and stuff. And it was a really, really good time.
It's almost like it's a tourist attraction.
Did you
Yeah.
did you go out to the end by the cliff, and did you kind of go, it's a cliffhanger?
No,
No.
that's cheesy. No, I didn't. But we've.
Is there a story to this, or are we just
Yeah,
listening to?
yeah.
I went to Cornwall and I had a piece of toast, and then I picked my nails because they're really warty and a bit yellow. Or is there a story to this?
He's asked what my week was like, so I've been away for the weekend. That's what I've done.
Is there more to it? I mean, this is a podcast. We're meant to be engaging, listening. Is that it?
Yeah, been to Cornwall. What else do you want me to say?
We need to get someone else on, don't we? Is there a story to the week at all, or?
I do have a story if you want the story.
I'd
that I
love to
saw.
listen to that, to be honest. Yeah.
There was, the self-driving cars that are going to be around very, very soon. Have you heard about these?
No, I haven't actually. Haven't heard
These
about
are.
this.
I remember back in the day, my dad had a car in the 80s, and I thought it was great. It had windy windows. But our next door neighbour had a car with electric windows because they were really well off with electric windows in the 80s. But now you get cars that can drive themselves. This is a true thing. They're going to be available, according to the government, by next spring, apparently.
See,
Really
A bit
soon.
Michael Knight.
Possibly, yeah.
See, I've been looking today at
Just to let you know, a bit of a technical one.
It's all right, just
maybe
bump-
someone
bump-
check
just-
the
just bunch in.
Facebook feed, because I think we're off. I think we've gone. Let me have a little look. I
no,
think we've gone. I think we've disappeared.
I can still
There
see
we are.
us.
We are there.
We are
Oh, we're
there.
there. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. No,
It's all right. Just
I'll go back.
just ruin the record then. Why don't you?
sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, no,
It's live.
We're definitely there.
Okay then.
Just you and your phone. Right, clean cut. Are we ready?
Yep.
Good.
I-
Hang on. I'll just go into what I was saying before Damian rudely interrupted me. As I said, if you're watching this live, this is, it is warts and all and everything there. So, yes, I was looking today at Teslas, just out of interest, because
Yeah.
electric cars is where everybody is going, and that is where everybody will be going soon. Obviously, they're going to be banning the sale of combustion engine vehicles in 10 years' time or whatever it is. The fact that a Tesla costs, the minimum price for a Tesla is £46,000. They're not general use vehicles. But if you want the self-drive, which you can't use in this country at all, you cannot use it for self-drive. You can't take your hands off the wheel of the when you've got the autopilot. That costs you an extra, on top of the cost of the car, an extra £7,500.
There is actual footage of a man in America. It might have been South America. I don't know where they were. Of a guy who was asleep, dozing off,
Well, you can.
eyes closed, whilst he was doing 70 mile an hour in his self-drive Tesla car.
See, now this brings in an interesting and slightly philosophical question. If we are all driving self-driving cars, so we are not controlling the car, so our hand is off the wheel, and we're letting the car drive itself on the road. If somebody steps out in front of that car, what does the car do? Does the car protect you or protect the pedestrian? And can you be found liable for the crash if you are not driving the car? And it's a massive moral question which people don't know the answer to.
Just changing gear.
Just
this is
ignore my
the-
question then, will you?
This is the podcast of fun, and we're talking about
It's-
this is you all over. It's not question time.
It's interesting. It's an interesting discussion. Just because you haven't got the intelligence to have that interesting discussion is not my problem.
It might be if you're listening to show.
It's
Start
an
another
inter-
podcast where you're asking political questions. This is a fun podcast. You wind your neck in and go back to university.
I have never been to university actually, but it's an interesting question. If you're in a self-drive car and you have a crash, who is responsible? You or the computer?
It would
Morbid,
make sense
to be
that it
honest.
would be you are responsible because you are the person.
But if
who
you
is
don't have
allowing the
control,
car.
but if you don't have control over the car, anyway, we're going to lose Damian because obviously this is slightly,
It's very
Yeah.
highbrow,
Too
and I
intellectual.
understand. But you know what? I just want to start talking about, the fun stuff. The stuff we're good at. That is very highbrow, and I think that's more for the other show that you present, which is Ian with his protractor. And you can listen to that every week on YouTube, where Ian uses his protractor and draws a picture. It's a
Of the
great
boy-
show where he's listened to his favourite ever kids' TV programme, The Big Breakfast.
He's like a child, isn't he, Damien? Where if he doesn't understand anything, he throws his toys out of the pram.
He does. One day I'm going to get one of his employees on and just have a quick conversation with them as well as we do this podcast.
Yeah, you should do that. You should
Find
do
out
that.
the
Barbara,
truth.
I know we need to wrap it up. We need to move on. Okay. No, cheers.
It works for Clarkson, May, and Hammond. We're not quite sure it works for Antrobus, Lee, and Barstow, but they're doing it anyway. You're listening to the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
I am just going to do a story about Chadwick Boseman. So that's why I've put that jingle in there so we can clean cut into and out of it. Yes?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just because I don't want to jump from what we were doing to that.
No.
Apologies, sorry, Facebook Live and YouTube Live if you're watching. That was just a little on-air discussion there about our editing techniques. This is what you get when you listen to us. Thank you to the people that are watching at the moment. Glad you're enjoying it. Paul Burgess is on again as well. Thank you. Anthony is there and Colin is there, and we've got other people watching as well. So, we'll do a clean cut. I want to bring up a story from this week, which really, it's one of those that shocked me, and it's one of those... It doesn't really happen that often when somebody famous passes away, but there is the odd one or two that when you first see it, you think, "Oh, really? Blimey!" And this week it was Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther in the Marvel films, passed away at the age of 42, which is my age, and is almost Damian's age, and is not far off Darren's age, from colon cancer. At the age of 42, really, really sad, and really, and the thing when you actually heard about it, he'd been diagnosed with this for a couple of years, and he played all of these massive parts battling colon cancer, and didn't tell anybody because he didn't want it to be a thing about him and a story about him. But yeah, it was just one of those. It was one of those because obviously you see him in Black Panther, and he's a very fit martial artist doing all of his stunts. Really brilliant character. One of my favourite Marvel films, Black Panther. I just think it's a brilliant film, irrespective of the message behind it. It was just a really, really enjoyable Marvel movie. And then to suddenly sort of realise that, blimey, he's been suffering with this for years, and sadly he lost his fight this week. So I just wanted to mention that. I just think it's thoughts with his family and his friends and all of the people that knew him. But also it's one of those, because he was so well known, it hit everybody. I think it's one of those because he was so famous and so respected for Black Panther, and all of that film did. So I just wanted to say that, and I think it's extremely sad.
This story is quite close to my heart anyway, because not long ago I had a few tests done for something similar. Through bad diets and whatnot, they suspected something was wrong, but it wasn't. It was all good, all fine, and I got some good news anyway. But what really upset me about this, when I was reading it, is some of the harsh, wrong people on the internet around the world that were saying, "Ooh, look at Black Panther, very thin, must be on the drugs," and all that kind of stuff. That was not nice, because obviously now we know the man was dying.
Yeah, and I think one of the things with this horrible piece of news story as well is, people have these people have private lives. Whilst they come into our homes and they come into the cinema screens, he clearly didn't want people to know. He wanted to keep it between him and his family, and I think that's his business. The fact that you can be an actor and you can put yourself out there. you don't need to announce everything. I don't think every time being a celebrity, we don't have a right over these people to have a monopoly of what they tell us and what they don't tell us. And I think with him, it was so shocking because it wasn't out there. But if your uncle or your auntie or one of your friends, people don't go on social media, some do, and announce, I've got this, I've got that, because people normally are quite private with stuff. It was a shocking piece of news. It shocked me completely when I saw it, and it is horrid. It is horrid, and I think it kind of brings things back when you watch these things. And the only thing that we can take about that, when you look at film, that they're immortalized forever. He will live on. It was an amazing cultural film as well, in terms of the importance of that, especially with things that are going on in the world now. And it was very sad. So no, here, Ian, I think it was a good mention for the show.
I think
One
also.
last point.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry.
Go on, Dan.
Well, one last point on this before you do yours, Ian, is what an inspiration he is to
without
people,
a doubt.
to people, to younger people, people from all backgrounds and people who are suffering, whatever they may be suffering. Inspiration to be strong. He was mentally strong, and he just carried on.
Completely.
I agree. And I think one of the things I take from it is one of those things that if you think you have something wrong with you, if you are not fit, the only person that knows your body is you. You know how you feel day to day and every day. If you suddenly feel that you've got something, you think, oh, blimey, that doesn't feel right, go and get it checked out. Because the quicker you find these things and the quicker that you can get on top of these things, particularly things like cancer and those types of conditions, the quicker you can get on top of it, the better chance you have of fighting it, winning it, and surviving it. So yeah, it's a very sad story, and I know there is thousands of people around the world that deal with this every single day. But it does sometimes need somebody with a profile to start something. I always think back when I think of these sort of things to Jade Goody, who lost her battle with cancer, and after she came out about the fact that she got cervical cancer, I believe it was, and she had the test, the amount of women that went to get tested and have their smear tests and all that sort of stuff shot up. And her battle, her story, led to thousands of people being sort of going to get tested that would not normally get tested. So yeah, it's very sad, and I just wanted to bring it up. So yeah, there we go. So that's that bit there. Right, good. I've now got to try and figure out a way of coming out of that and going back into the fun and fun. Right, so let's play another jingle. Actually, no, we won't. We will. Right, we'll do this bit. Okay, good. It's not scripted, honestly.
So
not scripted at all.
So just for people that are tuning in, because there are people on Facebook watching at the moment. So basically what we do on a Wednesday night is we record our podcast that goes out weekly on a Monday from 6 a.m. So basically what you see is the live version of what we do. There's occasions where we go, okay, can we stop there and can we go back in, because it's the bits where we edit it all together. But this is live, so you can see what we do, how bad we sound sometimes, and how Ian is little bossy boots, and he loves it. He's like that. Damian, don't do that. Damian, don't do this. But it's all good fun. So thanks for tuning in.
Because if I wasn't like that, nothing would get done.
And Ian's going to say now, let's do a clean edit.
I am. Let's do a clean edit. It's my new going on. Right. So we are going to do, yes. Now, Damian.
Yes.
Mr. Damian, you and I had a little bit of fun recently with
We did.
with somebody else that always goes on about the fact that they're a proper radio broadcaster. And we thought, we've had enough of this.
We did. And this was really good fun because for the people that don't know, this... Ian and myself have love radio, we love podcasting, and we've dabbled in bits and bobs in the past, but this isn't what we do as a day job. Mr. Hairy Egg down the bottom there, the real life baby man, the potato head, the Lego wig head, he is actually a radio presenter for a local station. So what Ian and I decided to do was give a little prank.
So
I tell you what, guys, Noel Edmonds would have been proud of you.
So Darren was running this brilliant competition with a fantastic prize, called One Lump or Two. So, and because it's a smaller local station, you know, if you phone up, you've got a better chance of getting on air. So yeah, somebody phoned up.
10:20 on a Thursday morning. So this never happens very often. But we had somebody lined up to play One Lump or Two, and they've dropped out at the last minute. They can't make it on the phone at this time. So we've pulled in somebody else who's entered the competition who wants to play One Lump or Two. Damian, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Didn't expect this.
No, I know. Nice surprise for you to start the weekend then.
Yeah, not a problem. I always like to play One Lump or Two. I tell you, can't wait.
What?
Damien, can I just check? Did you not think it would be a good idea to change your name?
Do you know what? I thought that afterwards, and knowing Darren as I know him, because do you know what? He's in La La Land, and it just came out. And even when I said it, I thought to myself, surely now he's going to know it's me. He didn't have a clue. Absolutely not. Even when I said Damian, do you know what I mean?
If you listen back to it, you can hear me. I don't normally fall over my words or stutter when I'm on air. So at the very start, I hear your voice and it's registering. I'm going, I know that voice, but I've got to be quick and I've got to carry on. So at this point, I'm trying to work out, do I know him? Is it him? Can't be him. Can't be him. Anyway, carry on.
And he doesn't even get it at the next thing that Damian says either.
Congleton born and bred, are you?
I'm not, no. I'd probably say Hole as opposed to Hool or Hale.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So where are you from originally?
I'm from Redditch originally.
Redditch? I was married to a
South of
woman.
Birmingham, or near Stratford if you want to be posh.
I was married to a woman in Redditch. The less said about that, the better.
Honestly?
I mean, I'm from Redditch. My name's Damian.
You have a
and
Brummy
he's still
accent.
there. I was with a woman back in the day from Redditch, and don't get me started on that libel. Stay there. It's still going on, and still doesn't know.
Now I'm going to give you the premise of this quiz, and great minds. The premise of this quiz is basically you have to figure out if somebody that they say that they have pre-recorded has 1 lump or 2 lumps of sugar in their cup of tea. Is the basic premise of this. I've missed a clip out. Damian decided to have a little fun with Darren by not calling him Darren.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm excited about this.
Drum
Is he
roll.
going to be a superstar?
Yeah, near enough. It's me!
Oh, great. It's great that it's you, Daniel.
Daniel? Daniel?
Is that not your name?
It's Darren.
Sorry, different.
Normally,
show.
I cut people off that get my name wrong.
Sorry about that.
Daniel? All right, Daniel.
Now you can see, you can hear in that clip, he's getting a bit chopsy there because he's thinking, if this is Damian from Redditch and it's me mate from the old podcast, why is he ringing me? Why is it not at work making a crust? And my boss might be listening. So at this stage, he's livid, absolutely livid. Just to ask you, did you know this was me at this point, Darren?
No.
Still didn't know. My name's Damian. No. I'm from Redditch, and I call him by his wrong name. It's my little banter. He still don't get it. What's the matter with you? Ian, play the clip. It continues.
So this is when we try and Darren tries to get an answer out of Damian.
My tea with 1 lump or 2 lumps in it.
I'm going to go for 1 lump.
You're going for 1 lump?
1 lump.
I'm going to give you a bit of time to change your mind if you really want to change your mind.
To be honest, I think you're a 1 lump kind of guy.
Sorry, I had to have a little bit of fun with that.
Now, at that point there, so it's clearly at that point, this Damian from Redditch is getting the answer wrong. So it's wrong. Clearly, Darren has got wants to get rid of this prize. He's sick of seeing it. The station manager's obviously livid about this. And it's still not happening.
Can I just interject here for a second? There was a point in this, at this kind of point, where you kept on getting it wrong. I thought it's got to be Damian from the podcast. It's got to be. But if I've guessed that wrongly, and I say it on air, then I've got to explain why I think it's Damian from a podcast. What's this podcast that you got to explain that whole backstory?
Damian from Redditch. I'm having you on. We always talk about wind-ups. I even call myself Damian at the start of the show. Who did you think I was? Well, by the sounds of it, you didn't have a blinking clue. It continues. Play on,
Because
Ian.
you want to get started and you want to get yourself going in the morning.
Right.
You're being very good on sugar elsewhere, but you're still having your 2 lumps in your brew.
Right. Are you sure you don't want to change your mind?
That's it there.
So I'm going for 1 lump in my brew.
I can't help you anymore. Unfortunately, I don't have any.
Oh, no. Well, that's a bit of a curveball, isn't it? I don't think that was one of the options.
Well, I know, but, it's just I either have 1 lump or 2 lump in it, or, obviously, I don't have any.
Thanks, Derek.
Got my name wrong again. I'm going to cut you off, fella. Right, thanks very much, Damo. Have a good weekend. Cheers. Are you there? He's gone. He's gone. He's funny. He's gone.
See, you knew when you went Damo, because you wouldn't call someone Damian Damio, would you?
That bit. I think he did get that. But now the bit that really gets me at that bit is, what a blinking awful game. Now the premise of the game is 1 lump or 2. So you've got a choice there. Is it 1 lump or is it 2? Here comes old Chris Tarrant. I don't have any. And you're thinking, as a listener, what's he going on about? You don't put Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and then go, no, it's none of the 4 questions. It's a different one. Whoa! Absolutely blinking awful. At the end, he clicks it. He knows he's pulled a special. He goes, all right then, Demo. Oh, no, how's am I going to get out of this now? Absolutely brilliant. I cannot believe, as a prank with my own name from my own town, you still didn't get it.
Yeah.
And on the history of game shows, 1 lump or 2. No, I don't have any.
My tea with 1 lump or 2 lumps in it.
I think you're a 1 lump kind of guy. Go for 1 lump.
Shake hard for 10 seconds.
Oh, very
So
good.
just the premise of the game again, 1 lump or 2. And Ian, I don't know whether you've got the clip, and sorry to with technology and all that stuff. Can you do the bit where he reveals it again, that he has none? Because you get to the point and you hear the reaction from the caller that he's absolutely peed.
Because you want to get started and you want to get yourself going in the morning.
Right.
You're being very good on sugar elsewhere, but you're still having your 2 lumps in your brew.
Right. Are you sure you don't want to change your mind?
I will just premise it. I have to play the whole clip.
Going for
So
1 lump in my brew.
I can't help you
Awkward.
anymore. Unfortunately, I don't have any.
Oh, no. Well, that's a bit of a curveball, isn't it? I don't think that was one of the options.
Well, I know, but, it's just I either have 1 lump or 2 lump in it, or, obviously, I don't have any.
There was no or. There was no or. At the beginning of the quiz, did you say it's 1 lump? It's 1 lump or 2. Oh, by the way, or none. There could be none.
Oh, it's a fun quiz, and
I wrote in.
and you
I complained.
and you did pull one over me, so well done to you.
not the first time. Right. That was
I
1
enjoyed
lump or
that.
2. That was good. Thank you, Darren, for being a sport, and thank you, Damien, for doing that. Lots of fun. I'm just going to leave these here.
My tea with 1 lump or 2 lumps in it.
I think you're a 1 lump kind of guy. Go for 1 lump.
It works for Clarkson, May and Hammond. We're not quite sure it works for Antrobus, Lee and Barstow, but they're doing it anyway. You're listening to the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
And thank you very much for watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live and Twitch as well if you are watching us today. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Don't forget this is the recording of the podcast, so we do the little recording bit and then we'll come back and say hello to you. So if you are involved, if you are watching at the minute, drop us a message on the Facebook chat and we will say hello to you. when we can throughout the recording. And don't forget, if you want to go to the website, it's I'm not going to do www because there's no point in doing it because it doesn't make a difference. It is theasyetonunnamedpodcast.uk. That is our website. Go and have a look at that. You can listen to all the previous episodes in there. Right, we are going to do Darren versus Damian, round 3. It is currently 1-1 to Damian and Darren.
This is my week.
Now, you see, this is where we get, we do Darren versus Damian, and this is great. This is the quiz. And for some reason, during this quiz, I reckon you go a bit favouritism at this bit, Ian. I've got to say.
I don't.
You go a little bit for the baked potato with hair.
I don't. I just do the answers.
I disagree with it. I dispute that because he gave away.
Give it a rest.
2 episodes ago.
Give it a rest.
That was your.
Give it, Darren. Give it a rest.
Well, do you know what?
Darren, I'll cut you off. Give it a rest.
Let's find out on this week's Darren versus Daniel.
It's time for the never-ending highlight of the show. Fight to the end. That is Darren versus Damian on the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
So the rules are very simple. I'm going to play you 10 sound clips. You need to tell me what they are, who they are, or what they are from. 1 point for each this week. There's a couple of different ones in there as well, not just movie and TV clips. There's some different bits in there. So the winner at the end wins the game unless they get the mystery voice. I will just tell you again now, it is not a woman and it is not Whoopi Goldberg.
Now, you see, we
she
didn't
is a
guess
woman.
Whoopi Goldberg on the same 2 weeks on a run.
Yes, you did.
We did.
You did.
You
yes.
did. I didn't.
Yes.
So it's definitely not Whoopi Goldberg.
Definitely not Whoopi Goldberg.
Right.
Right, are we ready to play Darren versus Damian?
Can't wait.
Good. Let's get on with it. That will sound better in the edit. Right.
That was a bit like his call. 1 or 2. No, I don't have any. Oh, did you like that? I don't have any. Not 1 or 2.
Clip number 1. Can you tell me what TV show this is? I'll play that again. Can you tell me what TV show this is from?
I know exactly what that is. I know exactly what that is.
I don't think you do, Ian. Damian.
Now, I've got to say, we've got quite a few regular listeners, so thanks for listening. Now, Paul Burgess, who's listening, is normally very good at these quizzes. So I would probably say we cannot look at the live screen.
No.
They're very good.
Yes.
So we're not looking at the live screen.
And just
But I know what that
just a
was.
little production note as well. Don't talk over the clips because otherwise it cuts it out for you. Just to let you know. Thanks.
I'm going to flick his head.
I'm just want you to have the
Right,
best
move
chance.
on.
Number 2, can you tell me what country's national anthem this is? Can you tell me what country national anthem this is? There you go.
I know exactly what that is.
That means you don't.
If we get this wrong, that'll be highly embarrassing.
Well, yeah, maybe. Right, the next one, number 3. I am going to play you a song that is being played backwards. I will give you 2 points for this. Can you tell me the group and also the song? Do you need that again?
Nope.
Damien?
I'm all right with that one, actually.
Okay, good. Can you tell me what this is from?
Yeah.
Yeah, got that. It's easy.
You
This
are
is
you
my
are
weakness.
you are both very confident so far
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull this in the lead this week.
Okay, can you tell me what this is from? And I will give you a bonus point if you can actually tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I know it as well. I can't picture it.
I will play it again for you.
Got that.
We are on number 6. can you tell me what film this is from?
Hello, Michael.
Can you tell me what film this is from?
Hello, Michael.
It's a bit of a link into this week's theme.
Don't give clues away, Damian.
All right.
Because Darren might not know that one, and that might be the one that wins you the game. Okay, number 7. Can you tell me what TV show this is?
I must admit, you are letting him play a bit too long there, Ian. But anyway.
Well, when I edit them, I think that's if I just give a second of that, that's going to be too difficult.
I know what that is. 100%.
Yeah, Damien doesn't.
100%.
Right. Can you tell me what this song is being played to you backwards? 2 points, artist and title.
Yeah, easy. It's like my old radio quiz at Sunshine Radio. I used to play. It used to be called Stuck in a Rewind.
Sorry, are you a radio presenter?
Oh, indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Stuck in a rewind.
Yes.
Stuck in a rewind.
Sorry, the name of the quiz was Stuck in a Rewind.
It was, yeah.
Oh, you're vile. Absolutely
My
vile.
tea with 1 lump or 2 lumps in it.
So we've got 1 lump or 2 or stuck in a rewind.
Welcome back to Stuck in a Rewind. And, we might even press a pause because it's stuck in a rewind and a pause. Oh, no, I can't have that because that's not the name.
Don't forget to do the fake laughing. Oh, call us something funny. Right, number 9. Can you tell me what this sound is from?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Aha.
Oh.
I need there to be one that would hopefully catch you out. I need you to tell me what that was from. Do you need to hear it again? No, good. Right, fine. Number 10, the last final one. Can you tell me what film this is from?
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths.
Can you tell me what film this is from?
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths.
There you go. That is the 10 sound clips for this week's Darren versus Damian.
Interesting.
We will give you the answers right after this.
It's time for the never-ending highlight of the show. Fight to the end. That is Darren versus Damian on the as yet unnamed podcast.
Tension music, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the answers to this week's Darren versus Damian. It is currently 1-1. We have a potential 14 points, or 15, 14. We have 14 points up for grabs. So, let's go through these and see who wins Darren versus... I can't do voices like that. It just doesn't
it's
work.
Awful.
Yeah.
You sound like a pervert,
I
man.
know. I sound like a heavy
Darren
breather.
versus Damian. All right.
Do you still get those? Do you still get heavy breathers on the phone calls? You know when you just pick up the phone?
Darth Vader.
Anyway. Right, so clip number 1. Can you tell me what this is from?
100%.
Darren.
That is from Alf.
Damien.
That is the TVX Freeview beginning ident for the adult channel.
No, it's not. Do you not know what that is? Is that your answer?
That's my answer. It's the TVX, the adult channel preview when it used to go all dark.
No.
Did I watch that on my own? Or...
It is Alf. That
Sorry?
is the theme tune to Alf.
From Home and Away?
No. The alien, not from Home and Away. Not with his little
Sigourney
cafe.
Weaver?
No. It is Alf, the TV programme.
Scotty Who?
Number 2. Can you tell me what country's national anthem this is? Damian.
United Kingdom.
Darren.
Sorry?
Darren. Just give me the answer you put on your sheet. Darren, come on. What did you put?
The United States.
Oh my God. Really?
No, I didn't. I put France.
Did you? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I can't see because of your webcam. Right, okay. So did you definitely put France?
I put France. I didn't really put France, but I bottled it at the last minute. Is it France?
What did you put?
I put France.
Okay, yes, it is the French national
Is it not the
anthem.
United Kingdom?
No!
Well, I know it's God Save the Queen, but
No,
isn't
it's...
that's for England.
You need to watch a bit more sport, mate. You hear it a lot in that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I can see you sit down, don't you? Quite often.
I do.
And have a watch of Tottenham versus Liverpool.
National anthem, Six Nations. You've got to watch the rugby players. Don't care about the game.
Got a good point there.
Yeah. Short shorts and tight t-shirts.
No,
Number
that's
3. Can you tell me, this is worth 2 points, can you tell me which artist or group this is and what is the song name? Darren.
It's Everybody Backstreet's Back by the Backstreet Boys.
Damien.
I've got the title wrong. I actually put Backstreet Back by the Backstreet Boys.
It is actually called Everybody. So yeah, okay. So that was 1 point. Well done. Right. Can you tell me what TV show this is? I thought this one was easy. Damien.
Thunderbirds.
Please tell me
are these joke answers? You've actually got it right, haven't you?
Is that honestly not Thunderbirds?
No.
It is.
It's not. Darren, what is it?
No. I think Damien's a crazy fool.
It's
the A-Team.
Yes, it's the start of the A-Team.
Oh, I'm really embarrassed.
In what is it? 1985, a crack team of something or another.
No. In 1975, a crack team of army.
Oh, you crack me up. Oh yeah, honestly.
I used to know all the words to that monologue. Actually.
Yeah, I used to as well.
I can't
Right.
believe that's not Thunderbirds.
Number 5. Can you tell me what TV show this is from? And also, can you tell me what it is for a bonus point? Darren.
That is from Pointless, and it's the bit where they're doing the pointless answer on the screen thing. I don't watch it, but I've seen it going up and down. And
yeah, I'll give you that. Damien?
Yeah, I've got Pointless. I didn't have the thing. I just put Pointless.
Okay, so yeah, it is the countdown tower noise in Pointless. And when you go and watch it, because I've been to see Pointless being recorded, they do tell you when the thing's going down to go ooh, as in sort of build tension. So yeah.
So Darren,
of all the things to go and watch to be recorded,
it was interesting.
Pointless.
It was quite interesting to see Pointless being watched. Anyway, let's not get started on that. Right, number 6. To be fair, Damien, you've got to get every single one of these right to be able to stand a chance of winning this.
It.
Right,
Don't worry about things like that.
Can you tell me what film this is from?
Hello, Michael.
Damien.
So
correct. Darren. You didn't get that. What did you put?
Halloween, Michael.
Oh no, it was from Saw.
I'll tell you, there could be a chance here.
Yeah,
and could be a chance for old Damo.
Damien was right. It is a connection to our horror movie top 5 later. Right, number 7. Can you tell me what TV show this is from? Darren.
It is My Hero, Noel Edmonds and Telly Addicts.
It is indeed. Damien.
The Krypton Factor.
You didn't put that. You didn't put that.
No, it is Telly Addicts. Yeah.
No,
it's definitely Telly Addicts. Right, number 8. 2 points up for this. Can you tell me the group and can you tell me what the song is called? Darren.
That is Liberty X and just a little bit.
It is indeed. Damian.
Liberty X and Sexy.
No. That was one. That was one of my top songs to play on. You have one basically, but build attention. That was one of my top songs on when I was on the radio in the day.
See, there's a theme here. I completely suck at these questions. However, when it comes to the top 5, when you listen to our top 5s later, I reckon this is my one where you should just leave because I'm awful at quizzes. Terrible.
You are
awful.
Right, number 9. Can you tell me what this sound is from?
I've got this.
Will remind a lot of people of their youth. Damian, what is that sound?
That is the lift music in Merry Hill.
Shut up. Not even close. Darren.
That is the music that I haven't got a clue. I was going to say the cram opens and you go in. No.
That was the boot up sound.
Hold on a minute.
The what?
Hold on. Just hold on. Set the scene for me and just get ready for that music, right? So, dear departed, we're here to say goodbye to our lovely Uncle Fred. Good night. God bless. We will miss you. We now send you to heavens. May God be with you, Uncle Fred.
Yeah, it'd work.
It would work.
It's a bit satanic, isn't it? Ooh. Poor old Uncle Fred.
Just have the flame.
was
Just
the
have the
lift
flames
music.
coming up round the side of the
Oh my God, the flames. Horrible.
That was
the lift music in Merry Hill.
No, that was the boot sound of the PlayStation 1. The original PlayStation, when you turned it on, that was the sound you heard.
Oh, I can't stand it. Oh.
Paul Burgess has got that right. Right, okay, I'm going to give you... so we've got one left. Darren has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damien has got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, right. It's all on this last question. Can you tell me what this is from?
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths.
Damien.
Now, this is the film. If I guess the premise of the film, can I have a point?
No, you need to tell me what the film is.
Because I think it's a film about... I know it, Sleepers.
No. Darren.
The thing that's confusing me is the 5 youths. But knowing you, Ian, it's kind of our era. But it's... I was just going to say it, Blair Witch.
No. It is actually the opening bit of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Link into our top 5 horror films.
My goodness. I kudos to our quizmaster.
So there you go.
Very good.
Right. So at the end of Darren versus Damien, yeah. So with 4 points, Damien with
I like that.
10 points
Well, thank you.
and a 2-1 lead. Darren, hooray! But it is not all over. We have the mystery voice. I'm going to play you one more clip. This is the 3rd week. It is not a female, and it is not Whoopi Goldberg. Can you tell me who this is? I will play you the sound twice. Yes, Damien.
What do you get if you get this right?
5 bonus points, which is slightly useless. Yeah, well, it's slightly useless because that would give you 9. But yeah, build the tension. Right. So, can you tell me who this is?
Good. That's good.
Can you tell me who this is?
Good. That's good.
Damien said last week he knew who this was, so I'm going to go to Darren first. Darren, who is that?
I got it wrong earlier because I forgot you said it's not a female. So originally I thought it was Michelle Obama, but I was so wrong. It's a guy. It's got to be somebody like Chris Rock.
No, Damien. You think you know who this is? Who is that voice? What?
That is RuPaul.
No.
Oh no!
It is not RuPaul.
Oh no!
Am I close with Chris Rock?
I was so
No.
sure.
Can you tell me who this is? Rolls over again. Till next week.
Good. That's good.
And that was Darren versus Damian on the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
It's time for the never-ending highlight of the show. Fight to the end. That is Darren versus Damian on the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
Right, okay. Just need to do a quick out for the first half. I don't know why I've still got that bit of music in there. I never like it. Right, we'll try this one. And that is it for the first half of the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Thank you so much for listening so far. Don't forget you can subscribe to us on any of the podcast apps you're listening to at the moment. Apple, Google, Spotify, Soundcast, Podbean, all of that sort of stuff. We're all on there. What? What's that little laugh for?
Podbean.
What, Podbean? I know, it's a great name for an app, Podbean. So yeah, thank you very much for downloading the show. I hope you're enjoying it so far. We will be back in the second half when we will be doing our top 5 horror films ever. Yeah, there you go. Right, so we'll be right back after this on the As Yet Unnamed podcast. First half done. Thank you. Only took an hour.
Lovely.
Not bad.
1 hour.
We're still live.
We are still live. Yeah, we are live. So don't say anything you might regret, Damian.
Let's go straight back into it then.
Yeah, hang on. Let me take a drink.
What are you drinking?
Oh yes, I'll have one of those.
Neat vodka. It's not.
No,
It's water.
Barbara. No, you're not. No. You stay there and you do your job. You're not having a poo. Dirty.
Oh dear.
No need. Just announced it.
There is no need.
No.
Thank you very much if you're watching on the Facebook live stream and on YouTube and on Twitch as well. Hope you're enjoying the show. Thank you to the people that are watching. So if you want to find out more, then go over to the website. Sorry, that sounded. I was going to read out everyone's name, and then I thought I haven't got time.
We've got so many people. I mean, hi.
If you are enjoying the
so
show,
much
thank
to people
you.
that are listening.
Yes.
We know it's a bit dull and it's a bit cold outside. If you're watching on YouTube, hi. If you're watching on Facebook, hiya. And if you're listening on Twitch, what is it? Why aren't you listening on BeanPod?
Podbean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you want to find out, if you want to subscribe to the podcast, this is the reason we do these records is to produce a podcast that we would love people to go and listen to. I'm just going to carry on. We would love people to go and listen to. So please do go and subscribe. Oh, you two are idiots. Are you back?
Okay.
Darren, are you all right?
Okay. Barbara, did you wash your hands?
Yes.
You filthy. You've got some loo roll on your slipper. And flush the J, man. Dirty animal. Oh,
dear me.
Absolute dirty animal.
So yes, if you are watching on Facebook, thank you very much. Head over to the website to subscribe. All you need to do is go over to the As Yet Unnamed podcast.uk and click on the subscribe buttons that you will see on there.
On her shoe? What's she doing? Oh, she's vile. Honestly. Oh, just move out. I don't even know why you live here. You're the flipping producer of the show. Why are you living here? Get a tent. I don't care. You wash your hands. You take that toilet roll with you and get out. Absolutely vile. Oh, right. Okay. Should we do the top 5?
Yes. Oh dear.
Darren, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Okay, right.
I'm ready.
Let's go in with the music. This is the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Thank you very much. We are now going to do our top 5 record bit.
We're going to try to, I suppose.
Yes. Right. Clean edit, everybody. Welcome back to the As Yet Unnamed podcast. My name is Ian Barstow. I'm joined by...
You're joined by Damian Lee.
Right, okay.
Hiya, hope you're well.
That was rubbish.
Oh,
That
all
was
right, give us
rubbish.
a link
That
in.
was rubbish. We did it before.
Welcome
You
back
should
to the podcast.
You should know what it is.
And we're joined by...
You should know now by when I play that music. It's I'm Ian Barstow. Hello, I'm Damian Lee. Hello, I'm Darren. It's not difficult. We've done it before.
You're not living with someone who goes into a toilet with the trainers and puts the loo roll on the floor, man. Try doing that and then doing a clean leak.
Have you ever? I've actually seen that in person. I've seen someone walk out of toilets with a bit of toilet paper on their shoes.
Happened to me. Happened to me the other day.
Terrible.
Very embarrassing. Right. Okay. So we are going to come back in. I'm going to play the music. I'm going to go, hello, my name is Ian Barstow. And then it's, and I'm Damian Lee. And I'm Darren Antrobus. Yes?
Can't wait.
Good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome back to the As Yet Unnamed podcast part 2. My name is Ian Barstow.
My name is Damian Lee.
And my name is Daz Antrobus.
Daz Antrobus? Darren.
Okay,
Darren.
If you ask me to do that again...
No, that's fine. That's
We're not
fine.
doing it again. We're not doing it again.
It's fine. So thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button on whatever app you are listening to. And Podbean specifically. Oh dear, if only you could tell that's insight. We shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have off-air jokes which carry on air. It's just never good. Right, so we are going to do our top 5 horror films of all time, and I have particular special music for this and sound effects as well. Only a few, but I do have some. So, are we ready for our top 5 horror films?
Cannot.
Scream number 2, that one. Scream number 5. Scream number 12. Imagine what you have to be like when you go into a sound booth and say, "Can you do a scream? Can you do a scream, please? We need some screams. Can you do those?"
Seriously.
So
That's
yes,
what I did the first time I listened back to this show.
that's what I did when I listened to your interview episode. Right. And you can listen back to all the interviews. They are still on there. They are very good. Right, okay. So here we are going to be doing our top 5 horror films. There we go. So yes, this is our top 5 horror films. Basically, we pick our top 5 ever horror films. I'm going to go first because last week you what?
Are we starting?
I'm excited.
Then?
Yes, we are starting.
I'm glad we're starting. Though. We're a bit production happy there, aren't we, Ian?
Go on, then.
Can you just text me when you're ready to do it, and I'll come back.
Here he is. I tell you what. Says the man who didn't know it was Damian from Redditch. 1 lump or 2? Oh, I don't know. I don't have any.
My tea with 1 lump or 2 lumps in it.
You just hand them to me, Damien. Thank you very much. Right, so I'm going to start my top 5. So at number 5...
I hate your face tonight. Your face. It looks like a potato with little bristles.
Talking to
I'm a bristly potato. Potato that's bristly.
Right, are you ready?
Yes.
At number 5, from 2004, start of a 9-film franchise, and the best because they all go downhill from film number 2. Directed by James Wan, and it introduced us to the one and only Jigsaw. It is the original Saw.
Now, I've got that in my list, so I will change mine. The first one was absolutely phenomenal because the twists and the turns in it. That film was great. And
it was really good.
The pig head. Remember the pig head?
Yes.
I don't know what that was, but the pig head. Now, the whole point of doing this, Barbara obviously gives us the envelope every week. She's our producer and she tells us what we're going to do. Now, horror films, I'm not great with. I've never been a great horror fan. And I do sit down and feel generally uncomfortable in the cinema when I watch them. And for someone who suffers with IBS, I come out there, my stomach chews, and I tell you, I've stunk the place out. Seriously.
Remind me never to go to the cinema with you then.
Honestly, seriously, I'm popping them out left, right, and centre. My stomach's swollen, looks like Darren's head. And but Saw back in the day, that was fantastic.
I will just say we will have spoilers on these because all of these films, well, most of mine have been out for a while anyway, so we will be discussing the films. So if you haven't watched them, the brilliant twist in Saw is at the very end when he gets up off the floor.
Oh,
it is absolutely. It was not expecting it at all. It's absolutely brilliant.
I've not seen them all the way through.
Is this going to be a recurring theme for your horror films, Darren? Because they're not a safe watch.
All the way through because isn't that classed as the gore category as well? It's gore.
That and another one which I will come on to in a minute. I did start a. They're basically classed as horror porn films. So they are basically horror porn is basically what they are because they are quite very violent and they are very gory. But Saw is brilliant. The first one is brilliant. The second one was okay, and then they just went seriously downhill. And then by the last one, there is 9.
9?
Yes, I have watched the latest one, and I can't remember the name of it. The latest one isn't that bad, but it's
okay actually.
They just get
pretty good.
Lower in budget and lower in quality.
Is the storyline the same guy who's not well?
It is, but he dies and then he comes back, and then he doesn't come back, and then he is back in it, and then his voice is back in it, and then it just gets very, very complicated. And how many times can they do it? And they just get more and more adventurous with how they have these stupid games that people have to play to get past to the next sort of to survive, basically. But the first Saw, if you've not watched it, go and watch it. It's brilliant. At number 4, a bit of a curveball one, which you may not have heard of, but it was directed by Peter Jackson. One of his first ever films he directed, him of Lord of the Rings from 1987. It is extremely gory. It is a splatter gory film. It is called Bad Taste.
Yeah, do you know what? I have seen that film, and it is just everywhere. There is it's blood everywhere, isn't it? And
it is.
Chopped up.
It's basically about aliens that land in New Zealand and then try to take over a place in New Zealand, but it's basically just an excuse to how gory can we make a film.
Do you know what I love? The fact that Darren is nodding to this. Never seen it.
Not a clue.
I don't know what it is.
But I think I've seen in the old movie world in my local town, when movie world used to be a thing where you used to rent out videos back in the day. I remember the video case to this. It was like a alien pig kind of head on the front of it.
No,
yes,
right.
It was. I've not watched it for a long time, but it's a really good film. And it's very gory. When I first watched it, when I was probably, I don't know, early 20s or whatever it was, it's one of those that's like, oh, really? That's not very nice. Now the third one is.
Just to go back, Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Wow. Peter Jackson directed that, one of his originals, and it is very low budget, and you can tell it's one of those ones, almost like a student film, but it's very good. Got a very much of a cult following,
like a really low budget podcast.
Well, yeah, basically, this is not low budget, mate. This is not low budget at all. Just because we've spent a bit of money. Right, at number 3, similar sort of vein to Saw. Directed by El Ruth, released in 2005. The first one again, it is Hostel.
Oh,
Hostel is.
Yeah. Oh,
Hostel. Sorry, Darren, this is going to be a rubbish one for you. Hostel is.
Can we just go back to the start of the show, right? At the very start of this podcast, okay, it's called the As Yet Unnamed podcast. I get that, but it's starring Ian Barstow, Damian Lee, and Darren Antrobus. Start of the show. Okay. Welcome. I'm Ian Barstow. So, Darren, tell me, how's your week been, Darren? Here comes Darren now with his interesting week. Yeah, it was all right. Went to Cornwall, south of country. Went to Cornwall. Right, Darren. Anything else? Yeah, it's Cornwall, isn't it? So nice time. I must have a pasta. Nice. No one-liners, nothing else. That was it. I just went. The content of that was I went to Cornwall. That was it. That was his week. And he comes on this show now with the top 5. Here we go. We're all excited. Great. Ian gives his big stick. No, not seen that, to be honest. I was too busy having my pie at Cornwall.
Anyway,
why do we get him on?
Well, we need 3.
How much does he cost us?
We need 3 to make to make it look nice on screen and stuff like that. Right. At my number 3 is Hostel. Darren, if you've not seen it, then just be quiet. But Damian, have you seen it?
Do you know what? Hostel is. Sorry, I'm just one of it. Do you know what I love? And sorry for the podcast because this is people are listening on the podcast. We've got a live stream of people that are listening, so thank you so much. One of them just turned around and went, "I'm off for a Chinese. Sorry, boys." He's had enough. He's going for some pork balls and a bit of egg fried rice. He's had enough. Sorry, boys. I'm off for a Chinese. He's off. He's had enough. That is brilliant.
Anyway,
classic.
Right, we'll go back and a cut. Hostel is my number 3 film. Damian, have you seen The Hostel?
Yes, I have. And I've got to say, for someone that's been traveling, so I took a year out and went around the world traveling. And I didn't do Europe. I did more of like Southeast Asia and those sorts of bits. My goodness me, it's horrible because they end up going into a hostel and, excuse me, sorry about that. Just
Jesus Christ. Really?
There's a bit of burger there. Sorry about that. We've cut that bit. Horrible, gory film. Really nasty. Oh, it's horrible.
Can I'm going to share. I'm going to share one bit with. Well, I'm not going to share one bit. I'm going to remind you of one bit. When he gets out of the seat, and the bloke cuts the back of his leg.
Oh, the old.
It's the old tendon. Yes. Oh, it's just. It's one of those. I have things in horror films. I have whenever anything is happening around eyes, and they're trying to poke eyes and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, just that one where he slices the back of his leg. Oh. It's a brilliant film.
Poking on a film isn't great, is it, really?
Well, it depends what type of film it is. It's a really good film, Hostel. It's a proper horror film. I really like it. Another one about backpackers from 2005, allegedly based on a true story or inspired by a true story.
And I've been there.
About a serial killer called Ivan Millet. It is Wolf Creek from 2005. Darren, have you seen this? I can't wait for your top 5. Damien, you might as well not even be here on this part of the podcast.
So we got a camper van when we were in West Australia, and there is a place, and I can't remember if it's definitely, well, it's something Creek, because we took a photo by it, and it did happen. It's loosely based on a true story of a terrible murder that happened. Really gory film, and if you've been out into the outback in Australia, there's nothing for miles. We drove this little camper van, pulled over, had some beans and sausages and all that stuff, and there's nothing for miles. So it's that self. You're on your own. There's no one. Your screams can't be heard. It's a scary movie. I've got to say, Mr. Barstow, I commend you, sir. This is a very good top 5.
Thank you very much. I like. Excuse me. Oh dear, we both had it. That wasn't a burger. I like Wolf Creek because it's a proper gritty film. The way it's shot and all that stuff, it's just proper dark and just it makes you feel sort of like when you watch it and just.
Oh, Kim down there.
Oh, Darren, really, what is it?
Do you know what? I'll just come on here. I'll get me performance fee, and I'll go back tonight. I've got to shave my head. Pick my toenails with the yellow bit in between.
Actually, before you just pipe down a second, basically, I'm writing down all of these films that you're saying because I'm making a list. I like horror films, but these ones I haven't seen, so I'm going to make a note and go back and watch these.
I can't wait for his.
I know, I can't wait, which is why we're doing it last.
Yours
right,
is fantastic.
Thank you. My number 1, I've mentioned it before, so I'm not really going to go into it too much, but it is my number 1 horror film of all time, and it is mainly because of the impact it had on me when I first watched it. Was A Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember watching it. BBC One, BBC Two, late night, watching it in my bedroom and just being absolutely terrified. about Freddy and the Nightmare on Elm Street. It's brilliant. Such a good film and a classic horror film.
I'm surprised. I could never watch that on my own because the thing I hated about Freddy, you watch a lot of these horror films and you can kind of, like, if it's a monster, you kind of go, oh, grr, it's a monster. But with Freddy, it's about going to sleep and having nightmares, and then he's in your night. I tell you, I'm having a nightmare about this tonight. It really scared me, that, and I hated his burnt face as well. Because in the new one, the new Freddy looks like a teddy.
Yes, very much so. Darren, have you watched Nightmare on Elm Street?
No.
Really? What
I've
is the point of you being here for this bit?
I mean, what were you doing? Did you just?
I have watched plenty of horror films, but just not the ones you've mentioned. Damien, do yours.
If you've got Somewhere Over the Rainbow in your top 5, honest to Lord, right?
And if you have any films that have aliens in them after our discussion on last week's podcast, I'm going to have a go at you about that as well. Right.
Oh.
Okay, number 5. Number 5.
It's a sound
bit of
Damien's never
tragedy
heard.
behind this film, actually, because Carrie Ann, unfortunately, some people passed away in the film for real, and it was about a television. And when you're watching the television, things could come out the television. It was actually Poltergeist. They made a number of sequels to it. 80s film. You look at it now, and it does look quite
dated.
Dated.
Yeah, very.
However, the premise of it, again, things that scare me in a good horror film is something that you can get into your head, and it could be
suspense.
I mean, that's it, isn't it? You've not been involved for about the last 2 hours, and then you get suspense.
Suspense.
I mean, where have you been?
That's what
have
you're
you
trying
been
to
here?
say.
Have you been listening, or
suspense? It's all about suspense.
One lump or two? Oh, none.
Suspense. Number 4, Damien.
Number 4 was, again, this isn't particularly. You're right.
Honestly, this is going to take forever, and I haven't got time for this. I know.
Come on.
So, number 4 starred Jeff Goldblum. He started getting very melty. His face started getting very yucky. And then towards the end, he was just grotesque because he was a fly. They made a sequel, which was awful. But The Fly, was a very scary movie because the different bits, and at one point he's eating someone and his teeth come out. It is a gruesome. Again, for me, it was faces when they looked scary. Great box office success. Made Jeff Goldblum. So The Fly is my number 4.
I have seen it a long time ago. It's not one I've watched recently, but it is good. It's a really good one, and you've picked up on some of the things for horror films. It's when they start going for stuff in teeth and they start going for tough nails. If they go for nails and stuff like that, if they try and pull the nail back, it's like it's those little bits that get me more than the big scary monsters. Yeah, good number 3 then, please, Damien, please.
Number 3 is just about a bunch of freaks. They're horrible. Absolutely horrible, vicious, awful, and some of the content is horrible, so we won't discuss it. But it is a nasty film, and this really disturbed me because again, they're just horrible in it, and it's The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah,
not particularly like sort of one of them, but it's more content matter. It's just horrid, and they are freaky, horrible, nasty. It is again something that you could imagine that it would be your work. You could almost imagine being in the car and going, "What have we just come to here?"
I saw this.
Film.
I saw this at the cinema, and my eldest boy was just born not long before, and it's the scene where the baby gets taken.
Yeah,
and they run into the hills, and I'm like, oh, oh no, it's a baby. You know?
Yeah.
It was wasn't it one of those films? It was one of the original video nasties when all that was a thing when VHS first started to come out, and it took a long time for the uncut version. It's proper. It's one of those. It's a psychological horror, as well as being a sort of a visual horror. But yeah, it's a good film. The remake is atrocious.
Oh,
it's really bad. It's nothing close.
Didn't even know they did another one.
Yeah, it's just not good at all.
Terrible. Number 2, I don't know whether you would have heard of this. Ian, I think you probably would have. Again, this is because it's loosely based on a true story. Now, one thing I am quite similar to Ian is I think sometimes if you watch a film or you watch a TV program that's based on a real life event, afterwards you go on to the internet, you look at Wikipedia, you look at all the news stories, and you want to do as much research as you can about it. This one fascinated me. And the scary bit in the film for me is where she almost arches her back. So she's standing up, she arches her back, so her head and her arms, so she almost becomes like a crab-like and walks up the stairs. It's hideous. And it's called The Exorcism of Emily Rose. A very, 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 very scary film. Again, and I couldn't believe this, it was only a 15. But it's based on an exorcism. I think it was Germany, on a kind of a young, sort of a teen. And it is just, it's again, the change in her appearance. There's rumors that she starved herself and all stuff like that. But it is a very, very scary film.
Well, demons taking over people isn't real. So, she probably did starve herself. Just to, shatter the illusion. Exorcisms don't work. Just on,
I mean, here he is.
You say they don't work. They might have happened in the past.
I'm sorry. You're going to tell me on the 25th of December, someone doesn't come down my chimney.
I'm not going down that route. I've tried many times, but I'm not going down that route. Damian, your number 1 film, and if it isn't the one I want it to be, then I'm not going to be disappointed in you.
Okay, the number 1 film is... I'm basing this on my childhood, okay? And I'm basing this on sheer nastiness, content. And again, this is based on the fact it's just horrible. And real things happened to this film. Cameras caught on fire. The set caught on fire. People died. People got sick. People got ill. People ran out of the cinema when this was released. And for years and years, this was described as the scariest horror film of all time. Projectile vomit, priests, spinning heads, and...
That's very good.
That is good. That is good. You can't do that for long. It's your voice, isn't it?
Jeez, that hurt. So it is... The Exorcist.
Do you know?
Wasn't it made into a stage show as well, like a touring show?
Yeah, I heard about that. Who'd go and see that? Oh yeah, I'm off. Where are you off to, love? The Exorcist.
Do you know? I have to say, I was really disappointed when I watched that film. I just didn't find it scary.
Well, you're hardcore, mister. If you watch that in the dark on your own, and you've had a few sherbets, and the lights are off, and you start.
Yeah, see, it just doesn't. I just didn't find it scary. Yeah, you are. I'm really disappointed you didn't pick the film I wanted you to pick for your number 1.
Gremlins.
No, The Omen.
No,
Damien.
Do you know what? There is a story, and it's one of those things. It's like Darren's quiz 1-0-2. When someone says now, should we have a look at the back of your neck? And I have to kind of go, yeah. Or they come up to you and go, only fools and horses. And they look at you and they go, I bet you never heard that before, have you? Do you know what I do? My head spins round and I go, why don't you, mother?
Yeah. You're going to have a sore throat at the end of tomorrow after doing that voice. Right, really good. Another good top 5, Damien. Both of ours have been really, really exceptionally good. Are we ready?
Do you have some, again for the podcast, do you have any build-up music to this? Because for someone who is sat in the background, you know, he's like an orange that has suddenly developed puberty. That's Darren. An orange little hair on it. Oh, I'm just an orange head.
Okay, so are we ready?
Let's have a build-up. Okay.
Darren, your top 5 horror films of all time, please.
I've never been so nervous to do any top 5s, and this one scared me
Nervous for you, to
itself.
be honest.
But I've chosen the top 5 films that affected me, that I enjoyed watching and enjoyed getting scared over. Right? So, stop it. Right, number 5. The first one was very, very good, but then they made something like 105 of them, so they went really silly with them. Courtney Cox was in them. She met her husband in them, and the original storyline was very scary. And I enjoyed it, and I watched it at night not long ago, a couple of years ago, and I watched it at night, and I turned all the lights off, and I felt like somebody was looking at me through the window.
Yeah, and
that kind of.
They are doing another film.
What, number 200?
They're doing it. Yeah, doing another. And there was a TV series as well. Darren, what was the name of the film?
Scream.
Brilliant.
I agree. I like Scream. Yeah, I like Scream, and I think isn't the new film all of the original cast again? The ones that are still alive?
I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's
Wow.
almost like a reunion film. So yeah, no, Scream's good. I quite like Scream.
Scary Mask. It was something that you kind of saw when you, and then at Halloween you had the idiots.
Didn't you get Damien? Didn't you get attacked by someone in the Scream Mask?
I did. Yeah.
I thought you. I just suddenly had a memory of that come back to
Good
me.
memory. I did. Yeah, very, very long time ago. It's too horrible to go into. But
Did you think you were going to die?
My friends and I actually ran for our lives, literally, because they were sort of a circle of them.
It was only a 3-year-old. It was in a tiny little Halloween costume.
It was around by the Washford Mill that's in Redditch, and they were sort of circling, waving things around. So they're probably squatting a fly around, but they started chanting things at us a bit like Damian. So we decided, my throat killing me. So we decided to leg it. And because we were that scared, we legged it and we just knocked on a random's door. You wouldn't do that back today, would you? It could have been like, the hills have eyes. Come into my house. Hello. So we ended up at this random house and we said, please, can you phone the police? And they did, and they were lovely. And they offered us a cherry bakewell.
But going back to Scream, just before I move on to my number 4, it sparked a load of scary phone calls to people's houses in real life. You know, people ring up and go, do you like scary movies?
Yeah.
You know, and hello, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So that's number 5. Number 4.
Lionel Richie.
Right, number 4.
Hello.
Number 4 is one that's, I don't know if it's classed as a horror, but it's scary, but it's about something that I am absolutely terrified of myself. It's about death. And it's about a bunch of teenagers that escaped death, but then death chased them.
Yeah.
Great film.
Final Destination.
Very good film.
Do you know that? I'm not gonna pee. It is a really good film, and again, to be fair, most of the sequels of that are enjoyable, empty your brain wash to
I've
watch.
I've not seen the sequels. I've only ever seen the first one, but I don't want to see the sequels.
The second one's really good, and the last one they did is very, very clever. It's really well done.
Do you not think, though, in those films, I know it sounds awful, but do you not watch them and kind of laugh sometimes?
Oh, God,
when
yeah.
The big rock with the big and falls on someone's head.
Yes.
And I know it's horrible, but it is. It's because they tried to do something similar in Hollyoaks, and it was just like, oh no. But I agree with you, Darren. From a scary movie point of view, I do think that
when I can't remember when it was out, I was in my teens or late teens, mid-teens ish, and I remember watching it going, actually, this is going to happen to all of us, but is it going to be painful like that?
It gets into your head, doesn't it?
And then you start to think, how am I going to
It's
When's
the
mine
first
already?
scene, the plane crash scene.
Oh,
It's so well done. It is really really clever. But if you watch number 2, the road crash, at the start of the film, so the
The one with
big
the
thing that
logs.
the
The
one with the
logs.
logs. The road. It's brilliant. It is
it's
so
horrific.
good.
It
Really
is
good.
horrific. And I think I think as well, if you watch those films, because again, we talk about what gets in your head, and for me, when I've been on a plane, and they go across like the stair bit and something, it
Yeah.
makes you look at stuff like.
Yeah.
And on my list here, and Darren, I apologise if it's on yours. Like, I won't stand in front of a mirror and say certain things.
Oh
3
no,
times.
nor me, never.
Never, I
Never
wouldn't,
say it.
because you know it's total
Yeah.
rubbish, but you
Oh,
never say
Candyman,
it.
Candyman,
Yeah,
Candyman.
no. Never say it. Never.
Never
It's a
never
film.
say
I
it.
believe.
Just a film.
I believe in none of it. It's all a load of
But
rubbish.
you just don't say it.
But
do
I
you?
would
You
never
just
say
don't
it. No, never.
Okay.
Like I would never use a Ouija board. I don't believe in
Never.
any of that, but I would never use a Ouija board.
And I'm not going to sleep
Okay.
tonight because the man in the red and black jumper is going to be there, isn't he? All right.
Right. Number
Right,
3.
Darren, can I just say you're being all right at the minute?
Yeah.
Doing well.
Don't
I'm
ruin
doing
it.
well.
Myself, I am
Darren?
concerned. Yes.
What's that behind you?
Don't do that because I'm quite jumpy, which number 3 will prove. Number 3 is, I think it's classed as a horror film. It's a scary film. It has had the Mickey taken out of it because of the ridiculous of it. It's very ridiculous. Kevin Bacon was in it, and
Oh no!
and they made about 5, and they did get very silly. But again, the very first one, when I watched it first time round, I struggled to get across my bedroom floor.
Darren, they're worms. They're worms.
Oh,
that look
Tremor.
like us on.
Tremors.
Oh, Darren. Oh, I can see him now. When he was 5 and he had a beard. He was a little baby with a full-grown beard. Oh, Mum, do you mind? Thanks for the milk and the rusk. It was beautiful. Do you mind not putting Tremors on because those worms are really scaring me? Ooh.
But
Brilliant.
but I do like watching the first one over and over again.
It's good. It's a good film.
I
And
watched it.
It is quite funny.
I watched it not that long ago, probably 6 or so months ago. It was on, I think it was on Netflix or one of them, and it was like, oh, do you know, I've not seen that for ages. We'll watch that.
And a TV show with them as well.
Yes, there was a TV
Was
show,
it?
and it is still a really good film. It is quite dated now, the original, but it is still it's still a really good film. So yeah, it's not a horror really for me. It's not what I would class as a horror, but
Ian,
it does have aliens in it. Just
I
to
feel a bit like maybe we've given him a bit of a hard time.
Paul Burgess says he loves Tremors. He's my mate. He is.
I'll tell you what, me and Paul Burgess, I'll tell you what, I'm going to Burgess off in a minute. I tell you, Paul.
Okay, are you ready for number 2?
Yes.
You're doing well.
You
are
do
doing.
not-
you're
this is
doing well,
normally about
actually.
where it all goes completely wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to surprise you again. There was a lot of sequels to it. It's the one that I find visually amazing, right? Because there's a demon that eats every 26 years. Gets to eat every 26 years. The first one was brilliant. Go on, say it.
No, I was talking about this the other day and I couldn't think of the name of it. And still to this day, the premise of it, I don't understand what it is. What
I feel
is.
like it's a bat of some sort with a big
Great
wing.
choice,
Oh,
Darren.
Jeepers
Great
Creepers.
choice.
Sorry,
Jeepers Creepers.
yes,
Great
good
choice. I tell you, bravo, sir. I commend you. If you ruin this with number 1, don't bother coming on next week.
Can I tell you about Jeepers Creepers? And one of the reasons why I really like the film is the bit at the beginning when they're all out on the top of the bus.
Oh,
And
Oh,
no,
bloke
not
gets
because of that, because they haven't got any tops on, basically.
oh.
It was at a time when there wasn't the internet, so I couldn't really find a lot to have a look at.
welcome back. For anyone listening to the podcast, we are family friendly.
What's wrong with that?
Like,
You're telling me you don't watch some of those films and you don't look at the women and go, oh, she's very attractive.
listen, I might look at a woman. Do you know what I mean? I might look at it. Yeah, occasionally. Yeah.
So yet I can't work out what it is. Is it a bat? Is it a demon? Is it the devil? But Jeepers Creepers.
What? So
yeah,
what?
too.
What? I mean, what was he in the end? Because he would kind of nest them, wouldn't he? And he'd kind of take them all and like put them in a hole.
He would take body parts, wouldn't he? Because
Yeah.
the lad
Yes.
on the bus had his head taken off, and he was still going.
Yes,
Like,
and,
that
and
really
they
was
and they
off.
used it. Doesn't he use it to sort of rebuild himself? Is that what it is? I probably need to watch it again. It is very good, and to be fair, the second one is all right as well.
It is, and I think the chasing scene as well in the car, when that horror, you're even scared of the truck because the truck is a bit gruesome. Listen, we're 9 weeks in.
Yeah.
For me, my throat is really sore from doing these with you. Yours have been awful most weeks.
Last week's was good. Sitcoms.
Just please go out with something here. I don't want to leave, all right? Because I've got tissue that's been in the loo from Barbara's shoe, and someone's got to pick that up.
Well,
So-
are you ready? Are you ready?
Number one, Darren, please.
Number one is one that me and my other half absolutely adore watching.
Oh, it's going to be awful.
We absolutely adore it. The new version is too gruesome, too scary. But the original version was almost comical, but it was a brilliant horror movie, a scary movie. Tim Curry played a brilliant Pennywise. Come on, Damian. Yeah?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The first one scared the living jeebus out of me, and it was really scary, and it really got in my head because I hate clowns anyway. Darren, what was it? It was just you get in that film and you're on, like, Tim Curry was phenomenal, but you get to the end
And it's a big spider.
and he's a bloody spider.
Yeah. But then didn't Ian say earlier on that we couldn't have aliens? So is it an alien spider? I don't know.
Well, you've had two that are, almost aliens.
I think that's a good, because that is something that I suppose you mix the two things, and that's what they're trying to say. A lot of people are scared of clowns, and because if I was to say a film that made me genuinely terrified isn't a horror film, it's arachnophobia, because I hate spiders.
man.
And even to this day, when I go to the toilet, I look underneath the toilet to see if there's a spider there.
We rented Arachnophobia when it came out on VHS, and it was I think it was a summer's day, and we drew the curtains in the living room to stop the sunlight going on the TV. And I swear, when we were watching that film, the biggest spider I have ever seen, I could see the shadow of it walking down the curtains. And it literally, I was fine with spiders until I watched that film, and now it's like, oh, no.
Just a very quick spider story. I don't know, we're time conscious at the moment. One of the reasons that I'm petrified of spiders is myself and one of my ex-girlfriends, we were in bed, and before we went to bed, she said,
don't go there.
She went, look at, no. She said,
don't touch me.
Who are you? Are you Daniel? It's not Daniel.
Get off me.
She said, she said,
Shake
look at that big
hard
thing.
for 10 seconds.
No, she said, look at that big thing over there. That's going to stay in.
Shake hard for 10 seconds.
So anyway, it was this ginormous spider. So I said to her, right, can you get it out? I can't touch it. Babe, I can't touch it.
Yeah. My other half has to do spiders for me. I can't touch them.
I wouldn't even bother with that. It's just not going to go anywhere.
So anyway, she got a glass. She put the spider in the glass, and I kind of went by her and went, let me get past first. I don't want any of this. And I brushed past her. So I started going down the stairs, and the ex-girlfriend went, Damian, stop. Just stop. And I went, what's the matter? And she went, please, just stop. The spider got out of the cup, and it was like that on the stairs. And it got up to my eye, and I have never been as petrified. I stripped off, everything went, the pants went, everything went, and the spider was just literally, in the end, on top of my pants, looking at me cocky. All right. Yeah. You're right, are you? Yeah.
What do you
naked, because I've been on your face. Look at you. And to this day, because it was on my face crawling, and oh, my Lord, I cannot abide them. Horrible. Hairy, long, they're not my type.
Oh. And the girlfriend after, she was like, oh, That was more interesting than you.
There's my top 5.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Bravo.
I don't think you actually mentioned what your top 5 was called. It's called It, just in case people didn't.
No, he did. You weren't listening.
Yes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
Sorry.
did.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you know, Darren? We were a bit harsh on you. That's a very good top 5.
That was. I commend you, sir. That was really, really good.
Some honourable mentions that I'm thinking of. There was one film, and I can't remember the name of it. It's the film that has made me jump the most of any film I've ever watched, and it was a Spanish horror film, and it was set in a hostel, but like a children's hospital type place, and there was one bit in it, and I have never jumped so much at a film. And all it was a perfectly placed slam of a door. But it was just, the whole film built up and it's just brilliant. And I can't for the life of me remember what it was, but it's really
Honourable mention for me, chaps, is one that my eldest boy got us to watch. I think it was in black and white, actually. Daniel Radcliffe was in it. Harry Potter was in it. And it's to do with a lady in black, I think it was.
Woman in Black. I think, or Lady in Black.
Is
Yeah,
that the one where he stands in front of the train at the very end?
Yes.
To be with his
Yes.
dead wife.
It's a really good film.
Watch that, am I? Thanks for that. That's on my Sky planner.
That's a pretty nice, nice ending to a film.
Based on a play originally. And I've seen the play, and the play is very good.
2 from me. One I need your help on because I can't remember the name. Number 1 is Hellraiser. Because Pinhead used to really scare me.
Hate Pinhead.
Very scary. The
Silly
second
film.
one, and I don't know the name of it, but it was just the face in it. And my friend knew I was that scared of that face. So when I came home the once, I don't know why he was in my house. Clearly he was in my house. Actually, now I think about it, why was he in my house? Anyway, what was he doing in my house? He paused this bit of the film, and I just walked into that face. Oh, it scared the life of me. It's about these teens, and it's a video where you put the video in, and once you've watched the video, you're going to die.
The Ring.
The Ring. Awful.
Yeah.
And remember the face?
Yeah.
Oh.
It goes back to that, when it's that movement of people, because you said it when she arches her back.
Yeah.
So if you watch some of the talent shows, there was one on Britain's Got Talent, and he contorts his body.
Yeah.
It's that look. It's just like, that's not natural, and it's really bad. I'm going to very quickly, if I can find it, give you a one to watch.
I'm surprised Norman Bates hasn't made the cut. You know, Psycho, who kills his mum and dresses in his clothes and stuff like that. The classics.
I'd class that more as a thriller than a
Yeah.
horror.
I think it's overrated. I genuinely think Psycho is an overrated film. So yeah, that was our top 5. Really good top 5. I'm very impressed with everybody's film choices.
Should we do it?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
yes.
do. Do you want some tension music, Damian?
Yeah, please.
Do you want tension music, or do you want the horror music?
No, tension music.
Tension
please.
music.
We've moved on from that. We've done the horror.
Okay, bear with me.
Okay. So every week at this time, once we've done our top 5, Barbara, who's our producer, I think she's got IBS because that's the second week she ran out for a poo. And this week she ran back with a bit of toilet roll on her shoe. Terrible. Vile. Still there in my kitchen. My cat walked on it. I'm not in the kitchen, I'm in the studio.
Do you want to get on with it? We haven't got all day.
Right, so she hands us an envelope with the top 5 in that none of us know, and then we prepare for next week's show. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to bring up some clangers, and I reckon this is going to cause a few little debates as well. Next week's top 5, and it's a biggie. The top 5 greatest bands of all time.
Greatest bands. Oh.
Oh, yes.
Right, can I have some definitions of what you class as a band?
Well, it says band here, so I'm guessing it's a group.
Because theoretically, Adele is a band because she has a band that plays with her.
No, it does say in brackets here group. So
Yeah.
it is
An
a
ensemble
group.
of people.
So
Yeah.
top 5 band / group.
Yeah.
Are we accepting pop bands?
It's just top 10 groups of all time. So
Thank
it's
you.
our favourite ever top 5 group.
Okay. I'm gonna rise up to the stereotype of a gay man. Right. So we've got.
Oh, I know what's going to be on his. Spice Girls.
Do you?
Hey, whoa!
Do you really? Do
We don't
you really?
stereotype on this show, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. What do you like? Yeah. What's your favourite show? The Airy Bikers, because
You
you look
know.
like a big pudding with little hair.
Liberty X. ABBA.
He's just said it. He just said ABBA. Oh.
5.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some Spice Girls. Obviously, we've got to.
Will you
Spice
stop?
Girls.
So next week,
Right
on
said
this show,
Fred.
the top
Right said
5
Fred. One song from Right Said Fred. Yeah, that's my top
Pet
5.
Shop Boys. Let's
No.
throw them in
Yeah,
there.
let's-
throw all the
yeah.
stereotypes in, shall we?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wham. Anyway.
Well,
basically
basically not, 'cause he wasn't,
boys.
He wasn't out at the time, was he? So you know.
Western girls.
Thank you very much. So our top 5 next week is the top 5 groups of all time.
Good
Really
choice.
good. Unfortunately, because it's a podcast, I'm not going to be able to play you any clips from any of the music from any of the groups because it won't work.
No, you know that's the cat's litter tray. You dirty, filthy animal.
Oh dear. Right.
Take some ibuprofen, or what's it called, Buscopan, or peppermint. You dirty animal. Peppermint Alps.
Buscopan's very good for dodgy guts.
Sick of her dropping one. Oh yeah. And do you know what? Cover it over as well. There's litter in that tray.
Go for one lump. I think you're a one lump kind of guy.
Shake hard for 10 seconds.
I would say one of the best shows.
Sorry, Damian, you ruined that. I'm going to have to do that bit again. Sorry. Right. And that is it for this week's episode of the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Thoroughly enjoyed that. A really good top 5 from all of us, surprisingly. It was really good to see Damian completely beaten in Darren versus Damian. And it was just a lot of fun. So thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Damian, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we've had lots of people dipping in and dipping out tonight on Facebook and on YouTube. So it's been good. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, everyone. Make sure you wear your masks when you're out and about as well. And be kind to each other as well.
Darren, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for the invite. Thanks for having me. And thank you for all the lovely comments that have been coming through on social media as well. Thank you.
We will be back again next Monday. If you are watching this, if you are listening to this on your podcast app, don't forget to subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podbean, all the ones are on there. You can find us on the website. It is theasyetUnnamedpodcast.uk. And you can find us on Twitter as @YetUnnameDPod, and we're on Facebook as well. So please do check us out on social media. Do subscribe to the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back again next week where we will have Darren versus Damian. We will also have our top 5 groups and much more. So until then, look after yourself, stay safe, follow the rules, wear a mask, be kind to each other, and just, chill out a little bit. Bye for now.
See you guys.
It works for Clarkson, May and Hammond. We're not quite sure it works for Antrobus, Lee and Barstow, but they're doing it anyway. You're listening to the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
Done. Thank you very much. We are finished the record. So I just want to say a very quick thank you to everybody that's been watching on Facebook and YouTube and also Twitch as well. Thank you for being part of the show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you to Paul Burgess, who's just said, great show, guys. Great show, guys. Looking forward to next week. Good. We will be back again next Wednesday. And also Anthony, who disappeared for his Chinese. Is that Dunk Pen? D-U-N-C? D-U-N-C? Would you pronounce that? Dunk?
Yeah, we've got Janine as well. There's lots of people who've dipped in and dipped out tonight, so really appreciate it. And I think if we have the YouTube listens as well, it's been really good. So as Ian and I both say on the show, stay safe and thanks for listening. It's been a good show this week, so need your support. Go along, have a look at the website as well. And hopefully there's more good stuff to come on this show. There may be some specials coming up as well at some point.
Maybe.
Time.
maybe. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, check out the website, www.theasyetonunnamedpodcast.uk. We'll be back again, same place, same time, next week, Wednesday, on Facebook.
Well, at least... No, spray it. No, don't use the scoop. Oh, you...
Oh, dear.
Good night.
This is the As Yet Unnamed Podcast with Ian Barstow, Damian Lee, and Darren Antrobus.
Laughed like this for a long time. Dear God.
Three men close